The forest was quiet that night. Only the sound of wind passing through the trees filled the air. Jack moved slowly through the darkness. His flashlight cut a narrow path of light in the thick woods. He liked being alone out here. There were no people. No noise, no past. Jack had set up camp near a frozen stream. The ground was cold, the stars above were bright. He pulled his sleeping bag closer and closed his eyes. But then it happened. A loud explosion tore through the sky. The ground shook for a second. Jack opened his eyes. He sat up quickly. Something was falling from the sky, burning, spinning a ball of fire, crashing into the distant trees without. Thinking, Jack grabbed his jacket and flashlight. His boots crunched the snow as he moved fast toward the crash site. His military training kicked in, eye-sharp steps, quiet as he got closer. The air smelled like burned metal. The trees ahead were scorched. Smoke floated through the branches. Then he saw a youth. Buried in the ground was something not from Earth, a silver pod, its surface cracked and glowing with blue lines. Sparks jumped from its side. It hissed like something alive. Jack moved carefully. He didn't know what it was, but it didn't feel safe. Still, something pulled him closer. Pod had a small window cracked, covered in frost. He wiped it gently with his sleeve, and what he saw froze him in place. Inside the pod was a girl, but not a normal girl. Her skin was pale blue, her eyes closed, her body wrapped in strange fabric. She looked hurt, weak, and she was not human. Jack looked around. No one else was there, just him and the fallen star. He stepped back, thought for a moment, then made his decision. Whatever she was, she would not survive. This cold. He opened the pod. The door made a sharp sound as it moved. Cold air rushed out. The girl didn't wake her. Her face was calm, but her breathing was slow. Too slow. Jack lifted her gently. She was lighter than he expected, and cold like ice. He carried her back to camp, heart beating. Fast thoughts spinning. Back at the campfire, he laid her on a blanket. He added wood to the fire, but the warmth wasn't enough. Her hands were still turning gray. Frostbite, maybe worse. Jack knew what he had to do. It wasn't a choice, it was survival. Unzipped his sleeping bag, slid in beside her carefully. Her skin sparked slightly where they touched, but he held still. Minutes passed. Then her breathing changed. A soft rhythm returned. Her body relaxed. Watched her confused, scared, curious. Her eyes opened slowly, bright and glowing. She looked at him, but said nothing. Then she reached up. Her hand touched his chest. Her fingers lit up with faint light, and she spoke in a broken voice. Soft and strange, safe now with you. Then her hand dropped, and she closed her eyes again. Jack lay there staring at the stars through the trees, holding an alien girl in his arms, not knowing what tomorrow would bring. Only one thing was clear. Nothing would ever be normal again. The night was colder than before. Snowflakes drifted from the sky like silent ashes. The fire cracked softly, trying to hold back the freezing dark. Jack stayed awake, eyes wide, arms wrapped around the strange girl from the stars. She had not moved since she whispered those two words. Safe now with you. He could feel her heartbeat. It was slower than a human's, like a calm drumbeat far away. Her skin no longer felt like ice, but it still glowed, faint blue, soft light pulsing in the shadows. Jack stared at her face. It was peaceful, but not weak. There was something strong hiding beneath the quiet. He didn't understand what had happened. He didn't know who she was or what she wanted, but she was alive. And now she was his responsibility. Outside, the wind picked up, howling through the trees like lost voices. The forest was never friendly, but now it felt different, like something out there was watching. Jack looked around, eyes scanning the dark. He reached for his rifle slowly, not to threaten her, but to be ready. Then her fingers moved just a little, but enough to make his heart race. She opened her eyes again, not sudden, not afraid, just clear and aware. She looked up at Jack. Her lips parted, and she spoke slowly. Where am I? Her voice was soft, echoing like music underwater. Jack answered with the truth. Earth, cold place, middle of nowhere. The alien girl blinked, processing the words. She tried to sit up, but her body trembled. Jack placed a hand on her shoulder. "Stay still, you are weak." She nodded slightly, her eyes studying his face. Then her hand rose again, touched his chest gently. Energy moved from her skin into his, like sparks of warmth flowing through his blood. Jack didn't pull away this time. It didn't hurt, it felt strange, but not wrong, she whispered again. "Bond made, we are linked now." Jack frowned. Linked how? She touched her temple, then touched his. "You feel me, I feel you, no lie between us." Suddenly, Jack saw a flash. A burning planet, screaming skies, dark ships raining fire, a world dying, and her running alone. Gasped and pulled back. What was that? Her eyes lowered. "My home, destroyed by them. Who are they?" She shivered before answering. "Hunters, machines, they take life, steal power, they follow me." Now Jack sat up. He understood one thing: if they were following her, they would come here to Earth. She reached for him again, weak but steady. "You helped me, so I give back." He shook his head. "I didn't do it for reward." She smiled for the first time, a small, honest smile that made her glow just a little brighter still. "You gave warmth, shared life, that means something to you." Jack didn't know what to say. He had no idea what was happening to his life yesterday. He was just a man in the woods. Today, he was sharing a sleeping bag with a being from another world, bonded, linked, and possibly hunted. He looked into the trees again, felt the cold rise in the air. He knew what came next. "We need to move. This place is not safe." She closed her eyes and nodded, then opened them again with sudden fear. "Too late, they are near." Jumped to his feet, grabbed his pack, helped her stand. She leaned on him, still weak, but trying to move. In the distance, the trees began to hum, a strange, low sound, like metal breathing. Jack whispered to her, "Can you run?" She shook her head. "Not far, but I can hide." Jack looked around. He knew the terrain. He knew the caves nearby. He had planned escape routes for himself long ago. Now he would use them for her. "Let's go." And so they moved through snow and darkness. One man, one alien girl, no longer strangers, no longer alone, and behind them the shadows began to move. The forest grew darker as Jack helped the alien girl move through the snow. Her steps were weak, but her eyes stayed alert. Every shadow felt alive. Every sound carried danger. The strange hunters she spoke about were somewhere behind them, following, searching, closing the distance with every moment. Jack guided her toward a rocky hill where he knew a small cave existed. He had used it once during a storm. It was narrow and hidden by tall bushes, almost invisible from the outside, the perfect place to rest. And think, when they reached the cave entrance, the girl collapsed to her knees. Her breath came out in shaking waves. Her skin flickered with faint blue light. She looked like a fading star. Jack knelt beside her and touched her shoulder gently. "You need rest," he said. She looked up with tired eyes. Her voice was barely a whisper. "No talk, yes. You must understand or you will die." Jack frowned. He did not like the sound of that, but he helped her inside the cave. The air was cold, yet still better than the open forest. He set down his pack, lit a small flame using dry leaves and flint. The soft glow pushed the darkness away. She sat across from the light and placed her hands near the warmth. For a moment they said nothing. Only the fire crackled, and the wind outside whistled like a warning. Then she began to speak again. Slow and careful, her voice gentle, like distant starlight. "My name is Kyera. We lived far from here. A peaceful world, bright skies, kind people. But the collectors came, machines without mercy. They hunt rare life, strong life. Life with energy. They crave." Jack leaned forward. He wanted to understand each word. "Why you?" he asked. Kyera closed her eyes, as if remembering pain. "Because I carry the starborn gift, a light passed down through our ancestors, a power they want. A key to control many worlds. If they catch me, they win." Jack felt something stir inside him. Wait. A pressure, a strange warmth. He could not explain the bond she spoke of, the one she created. When they shared the sleeping bag, it was growing stronger. He placed a hand on his chest. "What did you do to Mekra?" opened her eyes. Her expression, soft yet honest, did not mean harm. The bond was needed. Your warmth kept me alive, and your body accepted the light. Now we share life, share thoughts, share danger. Jack felt a pulse in his mind. A flash of a memory that was not his, a mountain of silver stone under 2 moons, water glowing violet. Voices speaking in musical tones, then the vision faded, leaving him breathless. He stared at her. That was your world. How did I see it? Kara touched her chest, then pointed at him. Because of the bond, you see pieces of me, and I feel pieces of you. Your fear, your strength, your questions, your loneliness. Jack looked away as if the fire had grown brighter. She was right. He had lived alone for so long that someone, knowing his feelings, felt. Kira continued speaking, her body trembling, but her eyes filled with purpose. The collectors know I used the escape pod. They know I survived the crash. They follow my energy, but now they sense you too. Your life and mine are linked. You carry a part of the starborn light. Jack rubbed his hands together, thinking hard. So what do they want from Mesh? Answered with a voice that carried both warning and hope. If they capture you, they take the gift. If they kill you, they break the bond and still take the light. If you stand with me, we fight, we survive. We protect this world. Jack sighed. He had not planned for any of this. He was a man running from his past. A man who wanted peace, not alien hunters, not strange powers, not destiny. But when he looked at Kiera, he felt something shift, something deep, a connection he did not choose, but could not deny. Outside the cave, a metal echo rolled through the forest, a low, vibrating hum that made the ground tremble. Kiera's eyes widened. They are here. They search for use. Jack stood up, his muscles tense, his heartbeat strong. He grabbed his rifle and checked its condition. Simple human weapon, yet it felt heavier now. As if carrying a new purpose, he faced Kiera. Can you move? She nodded slowly. Strength returning like sunrise after a long night. Then let us survive, Jack said together. They stepped toward the cave entrance. The night outside glowed with strange lights, shadows of machines moving between the trees. The hunt had begun, and Jack knew this was no longer just her fight. It was his to asterisk. The night forest shook with a low pulse of metal sound, a vibration that moved through the snow, through the trees, through the bones of anyone who heard it. Jack and Kiera stood at the mouth of the cave, watching strange lights pass between the trunks like moving stars. Cold air carried a faint smell of burning iron, a clear sign that the hunters were close. Jack breathed slowly, his grip tight on the rifle. Human weapon, simple, but it was all he had. Beside him, Kiera stood with trembling legs, her blue glow rising and falling like a weak heartbeat. Her strength was not yet returned, but her will was sharp. Jack whispered, "Tell me what those things look like." Oh, closed her eyes, searching her memories. Then she opened them again, her voice soft yet urgent. Tall silver bodies, eyes of red light, no heart, no mind, only program, only mission. They move without sound, they track energy, and they never stop. Jack swallowed his fear. He had faced enemies before, but never machines from another world. Still, fear did not control him. Training took over. He scanned the forest for cover, paths, weak spots, escape angle. Skara placed a hand on his arm, a brief touch that sent a warm pulse through him. Your courage is loud. They will hear it. Jack gave a faint smile. Then they will have a lot to hear tonight. Sudden flash lit the woods, white and sharp. A beam of scanning light moved across the ground, the trees, the air, searching for the starborn signal, searching for Kiera, and now searching for Jack. Jack pulled Kiera back into the cave. The beam passed just outside, painting the snow with cold brightness. They held their breath, bodies still, hearts loud. The light slid away after a few long war seconds, then vanished. Kara leaned against the wall, her energy flickering. They know this planet now. They will not leave until they take what they want. Jack knelt in front of her. Listen, if you stay here, you die. If you run alone, you die. So we move together, and we move smart. She looked at him with quiet trust, a feeling he did not expect from someone not human. Jack helped her stand. He guided her through a narrow opening at the back of the cave, a tunnel he remembered from years ago, a tight passage leading to another hidden exit deeper in the hills. No machine would fit easily through it. Their size would slow them, give Jack and Kiera time. They crawled through the tight stone tunnel, rocks scraping against jackets and skin the air. Cold and thin, Kiera struggled with each movement, but Jack kept encouraging her. Almost there, keep going, stay with me. Finally, they reached the second opening. Jack pushed aside heavy branches, and the two of them stepped into a valley covered in moonlight. The snow sparkled like glass. The forest behind them echoed with mechanical patterns. The hunters were close, but not close enough. Kiera pointed to the sky. Look! Jack raised his eyes above them. A silver ship floated like a dark moon, silent, smooth. Deadly, its underside opened, releasing small shapes that descended like falling knives. More hunters, more danger, Kiera whispered. They spread to surround us. They cut escape. They follow the light inside. Me. Jack shook his head. No, they follow the bond. They follow us both. He took her hand. We go north toward the river. Machines hate water, it slows them. Blind signals gives us a chance. Kiera nodded. Trust forming between them like a hidden thread. They ran through the valley, their feet sinking into snow with every step. Jack kept checking behind them, seeing red lights flicker through the trees. The hunters were moving fast to fast. One of the machines stepped into the open, tall metal frame shining under the moon. Its red eye locked onto Jack. It raised its arm, energy building at the tip like a growing star. Kiera cried out, "Move!" Jack tackled her to the ground. A beam of light struck the space where he had been standing. The snow exploded upward in a burst of heat and sparks. The hunter tilted its head, scanning, preparing its next shot. Jack rolled to his feet, pulled Kiera up, and sprinted toward a line of boulders. The machine shot again. The ground shook behind them, dust and snow rising in a violent cloud. Kiera grabbed Jack's sleeve, fear and strength in her voice. They know your signal now. You are part of the map. They will not stop. Jack turned to her, breathing hard, eyes fierce. Then we make them stop or we break them. They reached the frozen river, a long ribbon of ice glowing pale under the moon. Jack guided Kiera onto the surface. The ice groaned under their weight, but held behind them. The hunters stepped from the trees. Red eyes, burning metal bodies, silent snow lifting around their feet. The chase was over. The real fight was beginning. The frozen river echoed beneath their feet, a long whisper of ice carrying the weight of their steps. Jack held Kiera close. As they moved, her legs trembled, her glow weakened, but her eyes stayed bright with determination. The hunters followed with silent precision, metal bodies shifting through the trees like cold shadows, their red eyes never blinking, never questioning, only tracking. Jack scanned the river. He knew this place, a memory returned from winters long ago when he used to cross these woods alone, fishing, hiding, trying to forget the world ahead. Was an old bunker buried under earth and roots, a place he had sealed years earlier, a place no one knew, not even the machines from the sky. They reached it. They might survive the night. Kiera's steps slowed, her breathing thin, her hand pulling weakly on his jacket. Jack, the bond, it is changing inside you. You feel it? Yes. Jack hesitated. A strange warmth had been pulsing through his chest since the crash, sometimes like a heartbeat, sometimes like a whisper, sometimes like Kiera was speaking without using her voice. He nodded slowly. I feel something like energy, like fire, waiting to reach. Kiera touched his hand, her touch gentle yet powerful. Your body is adapting. Human frame learning Viari light. If you accept it, you become stronger, but your human path will shift. You may lose old pieces of yourself. Jack looked at her, snowflakes falling around them like silent sparks. His life had been slipping for years. Broken memories, old battles, a desire to disappear. Now he stood on a frozen river, holding an alien girl, running from machines across the stars. He did not know what his old path even was anymore. He tightened his grip on her arm. If the light helps us survive, I accept it. Kiera exhaled in relief. Then her glow brightened for a moment, before dimming again from exhaustion. Behind them, a hunter stepped onto the river. The ice cracked under its heavy metal frame. but it kept moving, red light sweeping across the frozen surface, locking onto their energy. Tracking the bond, Kara stumbled. Jack caught her before she could fall. He lifted her into his arms. Her light flickered against his chest, the bond pulsing with a strange rhythm. The hunter drew closer, its metal fingers opening, energy building in its palm, a silent weapon ready to end everything. Jack ran, his feet sliding across the ice, his muscles burning, his breath heavy, but he did not stop. He would not let them take her, not now, not ever. Kara rested her head against his shoulder, her voice faint. Jack, hear this, the bond is not only shared life, it is shared strength. If you open your mind, you can use my power even if I am weak. The light inside you is ours. Jack felt another surge of warmth. Like a flame rising through his muscles, he held Kiara tighter, focused, every thought, every fear, every hope toward the bond. Then something changed. His steps grew faster, his balance steadier, his vision sharper. The ice beneath him no longer felt slippery. It felt like part of him, like the world itself was guiding him. Kara smiled weakly. Yes, you are awakening. You carry the protector spark now. Another hunter appeared from the opposite bank, metal legs sliding into the river. They were surrounded. Trapped on the frozen surface, two machines closing in, their red eyes glowing with cold hunger. Jack breathed deeply. The bond pulsed. He stepped forward, not running, not hiding, but standing between Kiara and the hunter. Skara reached out, touching his back, her voice trembling. Do not fear your strength. Let it rise, let it guide youth. First hunter fired a beam of white energy, cut across the ice. Jack leaped aside farther than a human should be able to, landing on one knee, ice cracking, but holding. Second hunter advanced, raising its arm. Jack moved with sudden speed, a blur on the frozen river. He slammed into the machine's leg. Metal screech. The hunter stumbled, fell to one side. Kara watched with wide eyes, her glow lifting again, a spark of hope returning. Jack turned toward the remaining hunter, his body humming with alien light. The machine scanned him, but the readings confused its system. Human form, but starborn energy protector signal, unknown, unstable danger. Before it could fire again, Jack charged his fist, striking the metal chest. A shockwave burst outward. The hunter crashed into the snowbank, red eye, flickering sparks flying. Jack stood, breathing hard, energy rising and falling within him, the light of the bond glowing across his skin. Kara whispered in awe, Jack, you are changing, you are becoming more than human. Jack turned to her, lifted her gently, and continued toward the bunker hidden in the hills. Tonight they had survived. But survival was only the beginning. The bunker door groaned as Jack pulled it open. Cold metal scraping against frozen hinges. Inside, the air smelled of old dust and forgotten years, but it was shelter. It was safety, at least, for now. Jack carried Kiara down the narrow steps, her glow dim like a fading candle, her breath soft and uneven. He laid her on an old cot covered with a blanket he once used during long winters. She rested with closed eyes, weak but alive, her light pulsing with slow rhythm. Jack moved around the bunker, checking supplies, securing doors, turning on a small generator. A dull yellow light filled the room, shaking slightly, not strong, but enough to fight the darkness. When he returned to Kiara, she opened her eyes again. Her voice was faint, like wind moving through broken glass. The light inside you, it grows. I feel it. Jack sat beside her. He had felt it too. A strange energy humming under his skin. Not painful, not frightening, but powerful, alive. It made his senses sharper, his heartbeat stronger, his thoughts clearer, yet he did not understand. It. Tell me, what is happening to Kara touched his hand. Her fingers warm despite her weakened state suit. Are becoming protector, ancient guardian of my people, a role only rare souls could hold. A bridge of human strength and fiery light. You were chosen by the bond because your spirit carries something pure, something unbroken. Jack let out a slow breath. He had never thought of himself as pure. He had lived through battles, lost shadows, but Kiara saw something else in him, something he had forgotten existed. She continued, the more you accept the light, the stronger you become, but every strength carries cost if you go too far. Your human self may fade, you must decide how much of the light you allow. Looked toward the bunker wall's rust scratches, old memories. He had built this place as a refuge from the world. Now it held 2 lives bound by something beyond the stars. He turned back to Karafivi. This helps us survive. If it protects you, I will accept whatever. Kumaskara's eyes softened, a glow rose in her chest, a quiet gratitude. A connection deeper than words. She reached out again, her fingers brushing his forehead. A warm wave spread through him, a flood of visions, a world of silver trees, cities floating above oceans of light, warriors standing with shining armor, protector energy flowing through their bodies like living fire. He saw them battle the collector's machines, falling stars burning. Then the vision broke. Jack gasped, sweat on his brow. Heart racing, Kara lowered her hand, her strength fading again. These memories, now they live in you. You hold knowledge of my people. Use it wisely. Before Jack could answer, a deep vibration rolled through the bunker walls. Dust fell from the ceiling. The ground quivered like something massive had landed above. Jack stood instantly, eyes sharp, body alert, the light inside him flaring. Kira pushed herself up, her voice tensed. The main hunter has arrived, the one who leads the search. They sense your awakening. The signal grows. Jack moved toward the door, his footsteps stronger than before, almost too light, almost too fast. His muscles humming with rising power. Outside, a red glow seeped through the cracks of the bunker door. The air shook with the heavy steps of the lead collector. It moved like a metal giant, cold, precise, unstoppably. Care called out, "Wait. You cannot fight it." Alon. Jack paused, his hand on the door. He felt the bond pulse, a mix of her fear and his own determination blending together. He turned to her. "I am not alone. You are with me. The bond is with Makara." Tried to stand, her legs weak, but her spirit fierce. "If you fight, use the light, let it guide your limbs, your breath, your mind. Do not resist it, but do not lose yourself in it." Jack nodded. He opened the bunker door. Cold air rushed in, snow swirling like white dust caught in a storm. The lead hunter stood at the top of the hill, a towering figure of silver metal, its red eye burning with focused purpose, its body humming like a living machine of war. When it saw Jack, it spoke with a voice of pure calculation. "Protector detected. Capture or terminate." Jack stepped forward. The ground crunching under his boots, his body glowing faint blue, his human form shifting with the alien light inside. He no longer felt fear, only purpose, only fire. Kara watched from the doorway, her voice shaking. "Jack, whatever happens, remember who you are." Jack lowered his stance, energy building. A battle waiting to begin. A battle that would decide more than their lives. As the hunter moved, Jack felt the light surge through him, changing him, strengthening him. He was no longer just a man. He was becoming something more, something the stars themselves once trusted. Snow drifted across the hillside as Jack faced the towering hunter. Its metal frame glowed with red lines, its single red eye fixed on him with cold intent. The air vibrated with machine energy, a low hum rising like a warning before a storm. Jack stood with steady breath, blue light spreading across his skin, the protector spark rising inside him like a rising sun. Kyra watched from the bunker doorway, her hands trembling, her voice soft but filled with fierce hope. "Jack, remember, the light, let it shape you, not break." Youth hunter stepped forward, each movement heavy and precise. Its arm rose, energy gathering like a small star ready to burst. Jack felt the heat of it, but he did not run. He closed his eyes for a breath, reached deep into the bond, and let Kyra's light flow through him. The hunter fired, the beams sliced through the night like a white spear. Jack moved not by instinct, but by connection. The light inside him guided his steps. He dodged the blast, leaping across the snow with impossible speed. The ground shook as the beams struck the hillside trees. Snapped snow exploded upward in a rising cloud. The hunter scanned the air, seeking tracking, but Jack was already behind. Struck the machine's back with Glowing fists, a shockwave burst through the forest. The hunter staggered forward. Metal denting under the impact, but it did not fall. Lit turned its head red, eye blazing brighter. Voice cold and mechanical protector level rising, threat level increasing. Eliminate. Jack felt the energy build again. The hunter charged toward him. The earth trembled beneath its weight. Snow lifting in waves around its legs. Jack stepped forward to meet it. The two forces collided, metal against light. Human strength against alien design. The impact echoed like thunder across the frozen woods. Jack slid back, boots carving lines in the snow, but he did not fall. The bond pushed inside him. Kyra's voice whispering in his mind, "Do not fear the strength. Let it flow. Let it become you." Jack lifted his hands, energy rising from his chest, blue light wrapping around his arms like living flame. The hunter swung again, but Jack moved faster. He struck its arm, breaking through metal plates. Sparks flew like fireflies across the ground. The machine stumbled, its voice glitching. Protector anomaly detected, power exceeding recorded limit. Jack charged, every part of him burning with protector energy. He slammed into the hunter with a force that cracked the earth. The machine fell to one knee, red lights flickering across its surface. Damage struggling, fighting to rise. Jack readied another strike, but then he felt something change. The bond pulsed with sharp pain. Kira, something was wrong. He turned. Kira collapsed near the bunker doorway, her glow fading, her strength draining as the bond pushed too much energy into him. She whispered weakly, "Jack, the bond is open too wide. Your power rises because I give too much. If you continue, I fade." Jack froze. The hunter lifted its head, preparing another blast, but Jack did not move. He stared at Kira, heart shaking, the light inside him raging like a storm. Kira forced herself to speak. "You stop now. The hunter kills us both. If you fight, I may not survive. Choose protector." Jack felt the cold air burn in his lungs. He was trained to face impossible choices, but none like this. He looked at Kira, the alien girl he had found in the woods. The girl who trusted him, shared her life with him, shared her soul, her light. She managed a weak smile, soft and warm. "Do not fear. My life was running away before I met you. You gave me more time, more hope. If your path continues, then let it be strong. Let it be free." Jack felt something break inside him. A human pain, not alien, not light, but his own. He turned back to the hunter, rising again, charging forward. Jack stepped between Karu and the machine. He opened the bond, fully accepting everything. Strength, energy, light. His body glowed bright, blinding, limitless. The hunter fired its final attack, a beam that could cut through mountains. Jack raised his hands, caught the energy, held it, broke it, then released a blast of his own, a wave of blue power that shattered the hunter into pieces. Metal fragments scattered across the snow silence. Returning to the world, the glow around Jack faded. He fell to his knees, breathing hard, human again, or something close to Ith. Crawled to Kira, held her gently, her glow dim but still alive. Barely. Jack whispered, "I chose life, yours, mine, our Skara." Opened her eyes, a soft light returning. "Your choice, Jack. It changed everything." She touched his face, and the bond steadied. Balanced, calm, like a new dawn, rising far above the clouds. A hidden signal awakened. A distant machine voice spoke across the stars. "Protector code detected. Earth is now a marked world. The true war was only beginning."